A quiet town held its breath. West Memphis, Arkansas, May 1993. Something terrible had happened in the woods. The place was called Robin Hood Hills. It was supposed to be a place for kids, a place for adventure. But now it was a crime scene. 3 young boys had vanished. Stevie Branch, Michael Moore, and Christopher Byers. They were just 8 years old. The community searched. They prayed. They hoped for the best. But their hopes were shattered. The boys were found in a muddy ditch. Their small bodies told a story of brutal violence. The police needed suspects. Their eyes turned toward the margins of society. They found Damien Eccles. He was a teenager who did not fit in. He wore black. He listened to heavy metal music. He read books by Stephen King and Anne Rice. In a town like West Memphis, this made him different. It made him a target. He was smart, but he was also troubled, a high school dropout from a poor family. Damien Eccles was not alone. His best friend, Jason Baldwin, was also pulled into the investigation. Jason was quiet and shy. He was fiercely loyal to Damien. Then there was Jesse Miskelly Jr. He had a low IQ, around 72, and was known to be highly suggestible. The 1980s and early 1990s were gripped by a strange phenomenon. It was called the Satanic Panic. Across the country, people believed in a vast underground network of devil worshippers. They were thought to perform human sacrifices and abuse children in hidden rituals. This fear became a powerful tool for the prosecution. They painted a vivid picture for the community. They claimed Damien Eccles was the leader of a small cult. Every detail of his life was twisted to fit this narrative. His interest in Wicca was presented as devil worship. His black clothes were the uniform of evil. The trials began back in 1994, and honestly, they were a spectacle of bias and flawed procedure. First up was the trial of Jesse Miskelly Jr. He was tried separately from the others. The state's entire case against him rested on a confession he had recanted almost immediately. The police had interrogated this learning-disabled teenager for 12 hours straight. They fed him details of the crime and promised him help. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was a knife found in a lake behind Jason Baldwin's home. The prosecution claimed it was consistent with some of the wounds, but there was no blood on it, no fibers, nothing to connect it to the victims. On February 19, 1994, the jury delivered its verdict. Jason Baldwin was sentenced to life in prison. Damien Eccles, the supposed ringleader, was sentenced to death. The courtroom erupted. The families of the victims felt justice had been served. From behind bars, the 3 young men never stopped proclaiming their innocence. Damien Eccles sat on death row. He became a prolific writer, his letters and journals a testament to his fight for life. Jason Baldwin, a model prisoner, earned a college degree. He refused any plea deal that would require him to admit guilt, even if it meant a shorter sentence. A major turning point came in 1996. The HBO documentary Paradise Lost was released. It showed the world the flawed investigation, the biased trial, the faces of the 3 accused teenagers. Musicians like Eddie Vedder and Henry Rollins, and celebrities like Johnny Depp, used their platforms to raise awareness and funds for a new legal defense. Advances in DNA technology allowed for testing of evidence from the 1993 crime scene. The results were stunning. None of the DNA found at the scene matched Eccles, Baldwin, or Miskelly. Instead, DNA from a hair found in one of the ligatures matched Terry Hobbs, the stepfather of victim Stevie Branch. This was the physical evidence the original investigation never found. After 18 years in prison, the state of Arkansas offered a deal. It was called an Alford plea. It allowed the 3 men to maintain their innocence while pleading guilty. On August 19, 2011, Damien, Jason, and Jesse walked out of the courthouse as free men. But they were not exonerated. They still carry the legal stain of guilt. The search for the real killer of those 3 little boys continues, and the long shadow of injustice still hangs over West Memphis.